first in a series of the Caribbean Telecommunications Union Information and Communication Technology Roadshow was hosted in Guyana from July 9 to 14 and was deemed a major success. The CTU ICT Roadshow is a public awareness and education program launched in 2009 by the CTU and designed to enable stakeholders to reap the full benefits of ICTs. There have been 23 editions of the CTU Caribbean ICT Roadshows in 18 countries, including non-CTU members, each edition crafted specifically to suit the host country's needs. On this edition of InfoHub In-Depth, we focus on Guyana's hosting of the roadshow.
The future of Guyana has never looked better. Our nation is on the cusp of a development program like never seen before. While Guyana is now emerging as an energy giant through the discovery of massive reserves of oil and natural gas, it is your government's intention that the huge benefits emerging from this will go where it matters most, to you, the people of this beloved country. There is a surge of confidence in the way Guyana is governed once again, and the level of investor interest is unprecedented. Guyana is poised to become the breadbasket of the region, and the pace at which this nation will grow through prudent fiscal management will be nothing short of impressive. But more than anything else will be the way every Guyanese, regardless of color, class, or creed, becomes a part of this historic period of national transformation, sharing in the wealth and well-being of it all as one Guyana.
The CTU ICT Roadshow opened on July 9 at the Arthur Chung Conference Center. President David Granger highlighted the importance of information and communication technology, ICT, to national development. ICT President Granger noted will promote greater inclusion and innovation and provide information services consistent with the country's Green State Development Strategy, GSDS. Guyana is becoming a digital state. This, the President said, will reduce the need for citizens to travel outside of their regions to acquire passports, access legal services, record births and deaths, and receive Social Security benefits, among other activities.
The digital state will revolutionize the delivery of education, including distance education, by introducing technology-based teaching in the public education system, thereby improving educational attainment. The educational value of the digital state can be encapsulated in the legend: log on, look, listen, and learn. The ICT sector requires brain power. The public education system is being reconfigured to place greater emphasis on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education, so as to develop the human resources needed for a competitive ICT sector.
The roadshow, the head of state explained, can generate awareness of the many ICT opportunities for the region.
ICT is a functional and practical response to the challenge of digital deficit in Caribbean states. It will promote greater inclusion and innovation and provide information services in digital industries consistent with the Green State Development Strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, this Caribbean ICT Roadshow is far from being a sideshow. It sets the region more firmly on the digital highway to lead our states and our peoples towards increased connectivity. This event could generate awareness of the many opportunities which ICT can provide for our region and stimulate interest in ICT development as we all move towards becoming digital states.
The Ministry of Public Telecommunications, President Granger added, was created with a mandate to develop the enabling environment to facilitate maximum use of ICT for national growth and development.
This ministry has become the engine for the implementation of a national ICT policy that is built on 5 principal pillars. First, infrastructure. It closes the digital divide by developing a national ICT architecture which provides universal access to ICT services. This process started with the establishment of over 100 internet hubs in the coastland and hinterland regions. These hubs will be utilized by students and residents who still may not have their own computers. In due course, every courthouse, every hospital, every police station, every post office, every school, every government building will enjoy internet access. Not yet. We have connected over 175 primary schools and 105 secondary schools and tertiary institutions to support remote access learning and online research to help with academic assignments and homework. We've expanded coverage of the government network to better support the day-to-day functioning of state agencies, departments, and ministries.
Minister of Public Telecommunications Catherine Hughes, while echoing similar sentiments, said ICT-led growth is creating jobs, raising productivity, increasing incomes, and providing many opportunities for increased trade and human development. She believes that the extensive application of ICT now provides the opportunities for new ways to create wealth, contributing significantly to poverty elimination.
In the Caribbean region, the past 2 decades has been a period during which we've seen the introduction and rapid spread in the use of mobile phones, personal computers, tablets, the internet, dramatic expansion in the number and range of telecommunications and broadcast media providers, and the growth of applications of ICT in businesses, schools, and even at home. And all of this allows for increased entrepreneurial activities amongst our citizens.
She also spoke of a policy framework which the Public Telecommunications Ministry is developing to allow for the full utilization of ICT for national development.
This framework at the macroeconomic level seeks to facilitate sustained economic growth and poverty reduction, promote social justice, transparency, and equality, mainstream gender in national development, empower the youths and disadvantaged groups, stimulate investment and innovation in ICT, and create universal access. These, of course, are lofty goals, which we are determined to uphold and deliver. We recognize, however, that like every other policy initiative of this nature, there are going to be challenges. We have to continue to improve our ICT infrastructure. We also need to continue to review and modernize our current legislation and policy frameworks. And we have to evolve our education methods and delivery for the 21st century environment.
Minister Hughes called on stakeholders, particularly the private sector, to fully embrace ICT in their daily operations. Secretary General Caribbean Telecommunications Union, CTU, Bernadette Lewis, described each roadshow as uniquely crafted for the host country's advancement. Among many other objectives, Lewis said the roadshow seeks to dispel the fears citizens have about technology and sparks their imaginations on the power of ICT to enhance and transform their lives.
The roadshow is not an event, but it is designed to seed initiatives and programs that will grow and bear fruit in the long term after the CTU has moved on, after the roadshow has moved on to other destinations. From its inception in 2009 and up till 2013, the roadshow was held 23 times in 18 Caribbean territories, launching many ICT programs in the countries they visited and making significant contributions to enhancing the ICT landscape in the region. But you would recognize that since that time, the technology has continued to evolve rapidly, changing the world at a very fundamental level. And as a result of the relentless pace of technological innovation, the CTU has had no choice but to embark on a new round of roadshows, a new series that would reflect the current advances in ICT and their potential to impact all sectors. And the fact that the CTU has been invited to bring the Caribbean ICT Roadshow to Guyana this time, I think it testifies to the government's recognition of the importance of ICT to national development and their commitment to making effective use of of ICT.
Throughout the 6-day event, several workshops were hosted. These focused on e-agriculture, data analytics, cybersecurity, the use of ICT for the improvement of the lives of persons with disabilities, nanotechnology, and more. People living with hearing and visual impairments participated in a workshop on July 9 on how information and communications technology can improve their quality of life. CTU consultant Trevor Pravat explained.
What we try to do is really demonstrate to people with disabilities what ICT is, what the various applications, the iPhones, the Android phones, what they can do to make their lives easier, and other sort of assistive devices that they can use to make their lives easier and enhance their lives, and make them a fuller part of society.
A major focus of the roadshow was e-agriculture, which describes an emerging field focused on the enhancement of agricultural and rural development through improved information and communication processes. More specifically, e-agriculture involves the conceptualization, design, development, evaluation, and application of innovative ways to use ICTs in the rural domain, with a primary focus on agriculture.
Sub-Regional Coordinator of the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, Dr. Lystra Fletcher-Paul, said Guyana can incorporate the use of ICT to advance its agriculture sector and ultimately ensure food and nutrition security in the region.
E-agriculture can provide innovative solutions to some of these challenges. Through the use of information communication technology, ICT, such as computers, smartphones, mobile devices, policymakers, farmers, processors, fisherfolk now have at their fingertips access to information on new and innovative technologies, which can help them make informed decisions to increase their production and productivity.
An e-agriculture forum hosted on July 10 was attended by students of the Guyana School of Agriculture, farmers, fishermen, and other stakeholders. The agenda focused on a networking aspect of e-agriculture, allowing stakeholders to communicate and find solutions to common problems as they arise. Here are the views of some participants.
Technology is very important in terms of agriculture because most of our products or animals are genetically modified in the 21st century now. And my overview about how it would impact agriculture is it would impact agriculture in a positive way, whereby we may have more products, and it may also help us to market more stuff much easier.
Information technology is going to provide a lot of market for the different farmers. So marketing is very important when it comes to agriculture. So if you're going to produce all of these products, obviously you need to sell them. So you're going to need a lot of market. And information technology is going to provide a market.
Farmers can network and get information vitally needed for their field. But in beekeeping, I am hoping that we can use the ICTU network to start information, giving information to beekeepers out in the regions, interior regions, and even into the far-flung areas.
On Wednesday, July 11, the roadshow went to Anai, Upper Takatu, Upper Essequibo, Region 9. Citizens were informed of the benefits and the critical role information and communication technology plays in the agriculture sector. The series of presentations and discussions were conducted at Bena Hill. Minister Hughes reaffirmed the government's thrust to push the use of ICT countrywide.
There's a special project that we have designed that will give us some funds that will allow us to bring more solar power and more internet hubs. And that's why, as I mentioned, we are looking to partner with companies and people that know how to bring the technology in. So in these areas, it's very, very difficult, as you know. Many of you know that we tried to build a cable, and we had problems with that, and we never ended up with the cable. I think it was like 6 years, 7 years ago. But we're fixing that now. And so we're looking at new technologies.
Presentations were also made by the CTU Secretary General and the creators of the tech-based company Intellect Storm. Topics discussed included the effective use of data, animation, and website design.
During a cybersecurity workshop hosted on July 12, governments in the region were urged to standardize practices to address the increasing threats associated with cybercrime. Coordinator of the Caribbean Telecommunications Union, Junior McIntyre, explained that countries in the region need to have the appropriate technical standards and infrastructure in place.
Cybercrime doesn't really care about boundaries. It doesn't really care about, nationalities, preference, cultures. All right, and it transcends borders. So cybercrime is one crime. It could take place. It could be initiated in any part of the world, as a matter of fact. And because it's transnational and global in reach, it could impact you anywhere. So, for instance, an attack that may originate somewhere in Russia could be perpetrated on us. And if we are unaware, or if we're unprepared, it could have suffered dire consequences.
On Friday, July 13, a youth fair was hosted at the conference center, which saw a robotics presentation by STEM Guyana and the showcasing of new technologies. Young people were given the opportunity to interact with experts from the CTU, the International Telecommunications Union, and other local ICT clubs. Speaking on the sidelines, both the CTU Secretary General and Minister of Public Telecommunications said the roadshow exceeded expectations.
In terms of the attendance, the diversity, the interest, the dialogue, it has been a tremendous time, and we're very, very pleased with the outcome. I think we have certainly achieved the objective of the roadshow, which is to raise awareness and educate on the transformative power of information and communication technologies.
Minister Hughes expressed satisfaction with the level of participation, especially at the e-agriculture forums.
We had 4 representatives from a lot of the Ministry of Agriculture sub-agencies and groups. They were able to interact with the experts from the FAO, from the ITU, who were able to give them best practices, to share information in terms of projects and what's being done in other parts of the world. And I think most of them went away with a renewed sense of how it is we can start to refocus our traditional agriculture into new avenues of earning revenue, of building and expanding family agricultural ventures, how we could really take agricultural production to another level, to give it its rightful place in a world that is geared towards technology. So I think it was very good in explaining where the technology is going. The fact that drones are being used in many parts of the world very easily, and it's now the norm, to fertilize, to seed. The fact that, for example, we had a presenter, and we had this presentation in Anai, and he went to great lengths to talk about places in the world where they're now making pasta out of cassava. And these are the kinds of connections and information.
On the final days, farmers, business persons, and other citizens of East Berbice Quarantine, Region 6, turned out in their numbers at an e-agriculture forum at the Nan Prasad complex. The Public Telecommunications Minister said the forum achieved its objective of opening citizens' minds, particularly farmers, to the benefits of incorporating the use of ICTs in their activities. DPI spoke with some of the participants.
This new technology is very new to me, even though I'm old. But I have ways and means. I have partners in the business that is young and energetic and know to use the technology. So we will be incorporating it into our lives.
I feel very happy that this information technology is now coming to the farmers directly. And the host and the Kari and all the people that are involved in this activity has brought a new vision. A new vision where families will benefit, the country will benefit, and the lives of the people will be uplifted.
It is introducing technology into agriculture. This here is very essential because throughout the world, agriculture products are getting more and more competitive. Our competition is ahead of the game when they use technology. So if we can get involved and start using more technology in our agriculture, I think we can stay abreast or get ahead of the game and be very competitive as well.
3 Bijval Secondary School students demonstrated a technique they invented which shows how to conduct soil testing using microbits. The students Phyllis Vera, Supriya Jagdi and Kirti Bujgat have other creative plans.
We, the team, are planning to do a sensor that would sense when the soil is water content is low, so it come on automatically and it would water your plant for you.
A lot more ideas are in, and we're planning on it, like to bring it out to improve our presentation and more about the microbits and stuff like that. I got to expose more with more people, get to reach different persons, get to express myself, and it was great.
There were presentations from representatives of the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute and Y Farm, We Help Youth Farm, with a special appearance by AgriMan. AgriMan is a superhero created to promote the benefits of e-agriculture and small-scale agriculture practices at a roadshow with the catchphrase, "Plant a tree, live for free."
The technologies of social media are not just for you to connect with your family who you haven't seen for many years, even though it is a noble experience. But those technologies can be used by the farmers to improve their qualities of living. Ladies and gentlemen, we have realized over our researches around the globe that the farmer has been the man that has been, let me get the word correct, not very well advertised. When you think about the farmer, you think about this man with a bust of pants and a hat on his head, works very hard, makes no real money, but he continues doing this. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to let you know that the farmer is the most important occupation on the face of the earth.
The East Berbice quarantine farmers were also informed about animation techniques, drone technology, and more.
The future of Guyana has never looked better. Our nation is on the cusp of a development program like never seen before. While Guyana is now emerging as an energy giant through the discovery of massive reserves of oil and natural gas, it is your government's intention that the huge benefits emerging from this will go where it matters most, to you, the people of this beloved country. There is a surge of confidence in the way Guyana is governed once again, and the level of investor interest is unprecedented. Guyana is poised to become the breadbasket of the region, and the pace at which this nation will grow through prudent fiscal management will be nothing short of impressive. But more than anything else will be the way every Guyanese, regardless of color, class, or creed, becomes a part of this historic period of national transformation, sharing in the wealth and well-being of it all as one Guyana.
You have been watching another edition of InfoHub In Depth. Do join us again next week.